duct extends from the cortex of the kidney to the inner parts of the medulla. Large amounts of the water could be reabsorbed in this region to produce a concentrated urine. This segment allows the passage of the small amounts of the urea into the medullary interstitium to keep up the osmolarity. It also plays a role in the maintenance of the pH and the ionic balance of the blood by the selective secretion of the hydrogen and the potassium ions. Then we have the mechanism of the concentration of filtrate. The mammalian kidneys possess a special ability of producing a concentrated urine, like which is 4 times of the initial filtrate. More length of the loop of Henle is the more water reabsorption. The regulation of the kidney function. Hypothalamus, ADH, and the JGA heart are the main functional units of the kidneys, which is efficiently monitored and regulated by the hormonal feedback. The ADH then, which is the water reabsorption, and it prevents the diuresis. ADH constriction of the blood vessel. It is responsible for the constriction of blood vessels, which causes the increasing in the blood pressure and increase the glomerular blood flow and thereby GFR. Then we have the GGA. When the GFR goes down, GGA cells of this apparatus deactivate the release of renin. In terms of which renin converts the angiotensinogen into blood into the angiotensin 1 and then the angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 has the following effect: it raises the glomerular blood pressure and thereby GFR by constricting blood vessels, as it is powerful vasoconstrictor. It stimulates adrenal cortex to release aldosterone. Then the aldosterone causes sodium and the water reabsorption by the distal part of tubules. This also leads to an increase in the blood pressure and GFR. This complex mechanism is generally known as the renin-angiotensin mechanism. Next is the atrial natriuretic factor. An increase in the blood flow to the area of the heart can cause the release of the ANF. Increase in blood flow to the atria of the heart can cause release of the ANF. It can cause the vasodilation. Which is the dilation of the blood vessels and thereby decrease the blood pressure. ANF inhibits the release of renin from the JGA. ANF inhibits the renin release from JGA and act as a check on the renin angiotensin mechanism. ANF checks on the renin angiotensin mechanism. Next topic is the micturition. The expulsion of urine from the urinary bladder is called the micturition, and the neural mechanism causing it are called the micturition reflex. The urine formed by the nephron is ultimately carried to the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder stores urine till a voluntary signal is given by the CNS. This signal is initiated by the stretching of the urinary bladder as it gets filled with the urine. Then the stretch receptors on the walls of the bladder cell send signals to the CNS. The CNS passes on the motor messages to the initiate the contraction of the smooth muscles of the bladder and simultaneously relaxes the urethral sphincter, causing the release of the urine. An adult human excretes on an average 1 to 1.5 liter of urine per day. Urine is light yellow colored watery fluid. It is slightly acidic, which is 6.0 pH. It has a characteristic odor also. Color of the urine is due to a pigment called the urochrome. 20 okay. Derived from the breakdown of the it is derived from the breakdown of the hemoglobin from the worn out RBCs. On an average 25 to 30 gram of urea is excreted out per day. If urine is allowed to stand for some time, urea is degraded by the bacteria to ammonia, which imparts a strong smell to urine. Various conditions can affect the characteristics of the urine. Analysis of the urine helps in the clinical diagnosis of the metabolic disorder as well as the malfunctioning of the kidneys. For example, presence of glucose, glycosuria, and ketone bodies, ketonuria in the urine are indicative of the diabetes mellitus. Presence of albumin in the urine is called the albuminuria. The presence of WBCs or pus in the urine is called the pyria. Presence of WBCs or pus. Presence of albumin is called albuminuria. Roles of other organs in the excretion. Apart from the kidneys, lungs, liver, and skin also help in the elimination of the excretory waste. Our lungs remove the large amounts of the CO2, which is 200 ml per minute, and also significant quantities of the water every day. Liver, the largest gland in our body, secretes bile containing substances like the bilirubin, biliverdin, cholesterol, degraded steroid hormones, vitamins, and drugs. Most of these substances ultimately pass out along with the digestive waste. The sweat and the sebaceous glands in the skin can eliminate the certain substances through their secretions. Sweat produced by the sweat glands is a watery fluid containing NaCl, small amounts of the urea, lactic acid, etc. The primary function of the sweat is to facilitate a cooling effect on the body surface. It also helps in the removal of some of the waste substances. Sebaceous glands eliminate certain substances like the sterols, hydrocarbon and waste through sebum. This secretion provides a protective oily covering for the skin. Small amounts of the nitrogenous waste could be eliminated through saliva too. Next, we have the disorders of the excretory system. Uremia refers to the malfunctioning of the kidneys that lead to accumulation of urine, accumula- accumulation of urea in blood. It is highly harmful and may lead to kidney failure. In uremia patients, urea can be removed by a process called hemodialysis. Urea can be removed through this. This method is a boon for thousands of uremic patients all over the world. In this process, blood drained from the convenient arteries pumped into a dialyzing unit after adding an anticoagulant like heparin. Okay, the unit contains a coiled silicone tube surrounded by a fluid which is the dialysing fluid. It has the same composition as that of the plasma except a nitrogenous waste. The porous cellophane membrane of the tube allows the passage of the molecules based on the concentration gradient. The nitrogenous waste are absent in the dialysing fluid. These substances freely move out, thereby clearing the blood. The cleared blood is pumped back to the body through a vein after adding antiheparin to it. Kidney transplantation is the ultimate method in the correction of acute renal failures. A functioning kidney is used in the transplantation from a compatible donor, preferably a close relative. It will minimize its chances of the rejection by the immune system of the host. Renal calculi. It is a stone or insoluble mass of crystallized salts, which are oxalates, etc., formed within the kidney. Renal calculi are caused by the dehydration, excess uric acid formation, excess milk intake, metabolic imbalance, infection, and the hormonal disturbance. Then we have the glomerulonephritis. Is inflammation of glomeruli of kidney.